Coach. Just want to start with an opening statement here.
Just want to express how proud I am of this team. It's rare to see a group of kids that stick together the way that they did. I think it's a fun team to watch play. I think they play the right way, and you can see how much they enjoy playing with each other. And it's been a fun team to coach, and really a historic year for Ohio football.
Open up the questions.
Coach, obviously there was the big moment there where Shea was ejected from the game. You felt like they kind of tried to attack that spot later in the game, and that's when Blake came up with the big interception. How do you feel about the defense? How they reacted to Taylor leading the game, and how did they play the big part of the game?
Yeah, our defense is fun to watch, and the way that they play, the way our coaches get them to play as hard as they do, is really impressive. And that's a group that battled injuries throughout the entire year. So, Shea getting taken out of the game and ejected, that's not something new for them as a group. They've had to have other guys step up into larger roles. They've done it throughout the season. The way that they play, the energy that they play with is fun to watch. And for a kid to get an interception, he's got a cast on his hand. Those are things that are fun about this group. It's just how tough and physical they are. We have guys out there playing with casts on hands and playing at a high level, intercepting balls. They're fun to be around.
Coach, congrats on the win. Talk about the player of the game, Parker Navarro, 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown, and had over 200 yards. So how do you evaluate this game?
Yeah, you couldn't be more excited about a kid's success because of the type of kid that he is. He works so hard, he cares so much, he has such strong faith, and is just such a great person. That when someone like that has the success that he's having, you're just so happy for him that being a great person is paying off for him.
Yeah, Coach, Jacksonville State had 2 1,000-yard rushers. What did you guys do really key on that early on to keep the run game kind of in control early on in the first half?
Yeah, that was that was something that I thought was interesting going into the game. How everyone kept talking about their running game, and I didn't think they were talking enough about our defense and how talented our guys are at stopping the run and how they've knocked the run out of every team that we play just about. I think Coach Hauser's a tremendous coordinator, and those guys have done such a good job at making it hard for people to run the football. And that's a big reason why we've been able to have success running in on our side is, our guys are battling against them day in, day out, and going through fall camp and spring ball and going through the frustrations of, a unit that can knock the run out of one of the best rushing teams in the country. So it just allows us to be such a complementary football team.
Andrew Bolby, WB coach, congrats on the win. When Trey went down on the last drive and then Ricky came in and they got that long run with the offensive line pushing, what was going through your head watching the team kind of close the game with that play?
It's such a great way to end the game. We've had that happen once earlier in the year too, but when a kid does something heroic like that, so a great description of a hero that I've been told in the past is someone who when tested excels and doing so inspires others to greatness. And that's what Ricky did. He's inspiring his teammates by how he's playing, how he's finishing that play. What a proud way to end the game.
Trying to know, Coach, obviously.
Go ahead.
Trying to know, Coach, obviously, huge win, a lot of good plays today. What was it just like being back on the sideline with the guys calling plays?
It was fun. The biggest difference between being up, being down is the energy. And I've enjoyed being up because you don't make as many decisions that are impulsive as you might make when you're on the field and you're kind of feeling the energy of the team or the energy of what's happening on the field and call things out of frustration, something like that. But it was fun to be around our guys. It's fun to have that interaction with them and be able to look at guys in their eyes. It was different for me using the technology from the sideline. I'm used to kind of sitting up in the booth, and now I'm rewatching our drives. And unfortunately, I'm not able to watch as much as our defense while I'm on the field. But yeah, the energy is great.
Coach, you've seen, going back to Parker, you've seen him as offensive coordinator, and now congrats being promoted to head coach. What has he meant to this program? What has he meant to every guy in that locker room as well?
I think everyone just has so much respect for him because of the type of person that he is, how hard he works, how much he cares about winning, about his teammates, and then how much he's improved throughout the year. And he's had ups and downs. And you know, the things that he has struggled with, he's worked really hard to get better at and improve on. And you know, there's not a lot of kids in the country that can play as well as he does off schedule. And the ability to scramble and extend and still make plays like he did in this game.
Coach Frankie with WAP came out around kickoff that John Hauser had been promoted to associate head coach role for your old role. Could you just have some comments on that?
Yeah, there was no better person to fill that role. Him and I have worked great together. We have a really strong relationship. There's a lot of trust between the two of us, and I think this last year has been great for us, both being coordinators, and we've communicated really well about what's going to make us best as a team. You know, the 3 years that I've been here, you know, this team was probably the best complementary team where I think the offense and the defense played really well off of each other. So when I was fortunate enough to be hired to be the head coach, the first thing I was trying to do was figure out how to keep him around.
Coach, how special is it to end such a historic season off with a bowl win for the 6th straight time for this program?
Yeah, I mean, you said it, right? It's historic. There's a lot of things about this year that have never been done before. You know, this program has won 10 games 6 times, right? 3 of the last of those 6 have been in these last 3 years. It was the first time winning 11 games. They haven't won a MAC championship since 1968. 6 straight bowl wins. I'm sure that hasn't been done before. You know, so there's so many things that are amazing about this team. You know, and on top of it, they have the highest team GPA in season in recorded history of team GPA. So that's going back 22 years. It's the first time they've been over 3.0. So it's just such a special group.
And I also just wanted to ask you, what was going through your head during that third quarter? There's a lot going on with the fumbles and a couple of reviews. Just what was going on for you on the sideline during that crazy quarter?
Just we needed to keep our composure. You know, there was more penalties. There was the turnovers. You know, we weren't playing as clean a football. So they're just trying to figure out how to just execute better. You know, you try not to get frustrated with what has happened in the previous plays. You try to flush those, move on to the next thing. You know, when you're coaching, the things that you want to focus on are answers, and you want to focus on solutions to problems. So that's all that's going through my head is, you know, what are the problems? How can we fix it? How can we start executing better?
1 or 2 more.
When you think back to week 1 against Syracuse and now, from your mind as the offensive play caller, how much has this offense evolved throughout the year?
How much has it evolved? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
A fair amount. You know, I think what's probably evolved more is just my better understanding of the players we have. You know, when you add so many new players in key roles immediately the way we did, you know, with Coleman and Trey, you know, Parker had been, you know, kind of a 2-3 the last couple of years, and he was injured most of the season 3 years ago. So there was a lot of just figuring out what are guys good at, what do we do well, and I think that's where a lot of our growth came from, was calling the games that fit us better, and fit our personnel better.
Coach, you mentioned the defense playing strong. You guys went through a dry stretch offensively in the second half, but you guys were able to hopefully keep the game strong, tight to the end, and defensive forward. What does that say about the team mentality? How much you think this team has grown and played together?
Yeah, that's happened, you know, throughout really the entire season. And that's part of the complementary football of what we do. You know, when there's times where we struggled on offense, they've been able to hold it together. You know, if we need to score and extend, I think the offense has done a great job with that. You know, I think we've done a really nice job of getting points at the halves and try to steal possessions, which helps expand leads. And then the ability to, a lot of times, keep our defense off the field in the fourth quarter. You know, running the ball and owning the clock.
All right, Coach, just wrap it up. You just talked about this entire whole week. How has, you know, whole week been as you look back on your bowl?
The bowl week has been awesome. You know, the Cure Bowl is extremely hospitable, but the thing that's probably the most special about it is it's a bowl game that represents more than just football. And it's a great cause. It affects so many of our players. It impacts them. You know, I had a lot of our guys come up to me after we found out what bowl we're playing in, and you know, told me how it impacted them, how they had recently found out that a loved one had just been diagnosed with cancer, and you know, for them, they thought it was, you know, almost like fate, something like that, but they're playing in a game that you know, is tied to raising money to find a cure for it. So I think that's special, you know, to be a part of something that means more than just football, and it connects to a lot of our players.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys.